.99 is January of the year 2035, the point at which 99% of the Bitcoin supply has been mined. The asset becomes effectively capped for all practical purposes because the last 1% comes out over 100 years. .99 between now and then you've got 10 years for the digital gold rush. You should get your Bitcoin before there's no more Bitcoin for you.
What's going on? Aaron from the Bitcoin Bros here, and we're going to be getting into Bitcoin strategy, Bitcoin treasury companies today. And you just saw in that clip that was Saylor talking about the Bitcoin gold rush has started, and we're going to be taking a look at some of that today in today's video. So make sure to stay tuned for everything I'm going to talk about in today's video. But as of right now, current time of this recording, strategy is sitting at 410. We have the MNAV at 1.80, and I know a lot of you guys are saying the MNAV is lower than this. Strategy uses the enterprise value versus the market cap when they calculate their MNAV metric here. So MNAV, if you're going to use market cap instead of enterprise value, is closer to 1.6, somewhere around there. So, but I see you guys in the comments commenting that. But what do you guys think? Give me your thoughts in the comment section below about strategy using the MSTR ATM when the MNAV is at lower levels. Some people want strategy not to use MSTR ATM and let the MNAV expand and just use the preferred offerings. What are your thoughts on that in the comment section below? And my personal opinion is if strategy can acquire more Bitcoin and make Bitcoin per share go up, they should do that by any means necessary. So I think they should continue to tap the MSTR ATM and sell those dollars for actual Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the asset here that's going to 1 million. Strategy needs to acquire more Bitcoin so that in the future, 5, 10, 15 years from now, they'll be worth more at these cheap prices. That's how I view it. But leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Feel free to disagree. But we can see right here, strategy is currently rated number 92 in the top US market cap companies at $116 billion. We know that strategy has qualified for the S&P 500. So the S&P inclusion will be coming probably over the next year and a half, maybe before the end of the year potentially. And when that happens, strategy will have a potential gain in value, and they can use that gain in value to buy more Bitcoin. And the bigger news here is as strategy becomes a bigger and bigger company and they're in the S&P 500, as they become one of the biggest companies in the world, when people buy their 401k or people passively invest through their employer, people are going to be unknowingly investing in strategy, which means they're unknowingly investing in Bitcoin. So as strategy does better, their allocation in the S&P is going to go up, which means people, when they buy this S&P, it just means that they'll be buying more Bitcoin as strategy goes up the ranks here. So that is the bigger, more long-term picture to view there. So this is a huge catalyst that most people really aren't paying attention to unless you're in the MicroStrategy space, but the average person is not paying attention to any of this. And then if we look at the most actively traded US stocks today, the market is still open at the time of this recording. You can see strategies coming in the top 15 here. So that is good to see at around $2.56 billion of actively traded volume. And what we've seen consistently, basically over the past year, strategy's been in the top 15 to 20 companies traded every single day in the actively traded volume. And when price is really going up, you start to see it up here in like the top fives. So it could be a signal of where strategy could go in the future. So what is the 20th biggest company in the world? Now that is Palantir, and they're around a $374 billion market cap company. So that could show you right there where strategy is going in the short term and how strategy could be underpriced right now at around a $100 billion market cap company. So something to take note of. And then we talked about this in our live stream yesterday. So if you haven't checked out our live streams, make sure to check those out. We have them every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as you can see right here, STRC, the initial offering was $500 million. They oversized that by a lot, $2.521 billion. They'll be able to take that $2.5 billion and buy Bitcoin. So we have another 20 to 25,000 Bitcoin that strategy is going to be buying probably next week. And this is huge. STRC has been the biggest offering when compared to STRK, STRF, or STRD. And if you also add up all three of those, their entire IPO for all of those ones, it doesn't even come close to the $2.5 billion that STRC has done. So we could see some massive inflows from STRC. It's looking like there's a lot of demand for this one. And all of this product is just a 9% return every single year, APY, at a fixed rate. That's what they're trying to do with STRC. So this is a huge offering. And that $2.5 billion may kind of just foreshadow what's to come from this offering. We may see a lot of inflows that allows strategy to go out and buy a lot of BTC, but that's just to be seen. But this is definitely a good sign. And then to look a little bit at the Bitcoin gold rush, you can pause this, look at all these companies right here buying Bitcoin or looking to buy Bitcoin over the next couple of years or even just this year. And you can see there is billions and billions of dollars coming into Bitcoin. And if all of these companies got what they wanted, there would be no BTC left to sell. You can see these companies have huge numbers that they're trying to get to in terms of how much Bitcoin they actually want. So this is something to really pay attention to. All these companies are trying to stack Bitcoin as fast as possible, raise money to buy Bitcoin as fast as possible. So that may just show you where the price of Bitcoin is going to be going over the next 4 to 5 years. This is huge, guys. And most people don't know that this is happening right now. You watching this video, you have an advantage on other people, regular everyday people that don't know what's going on. They don't know that a Bitcoin gold rush has happened. Some people don't even know what Bitcoin is yet. So you have a huge advantage, and you can see right there, you can pause and look at those companies. A lot of money potentially flowing into Bitcoin over the next couple of years. And an update from yesterday, Galaxy Digital sold 70,000 Bitcoin from the 80,000 Bitcoin they received from the 2011 whale. 10,000 Bitcoin to go until the next one wakes up. So this reminds me of last year we saw the German government sell 50,000 Bitcoin at around $60,000. The price went from 60,000 to 50,000 after they sold that 50K Bitcoin. After that, the price rebounded. It went right back up. And you know where we are today, currently at like 115. So if the German government just held their Bitcoin and didn't sell it, they would have doubled their money in a year. And I think there's going to be a similar story with Galaxy Digital. I'm not sure if this is their Bitcoin that they sold or if they're just selling it for somebody. I don't know the entire story, but it wouldn't surprise me because the Galaxy Digital CEO, Mike Novogratz, came out on one of the news channels, I think it was CNBC, a couple of days ago. He said that Ethereum is going to outperform Bitcoin over the next 3 to 6 months. So he has a crystal ball where he knows that Ethereum is going to outperform Bitcoin over the next 3 to 6 months. He's not looking where Bitcoin's going over the long term. He's just saying Ethereum's going to outperform. So we'll see if that happens or not. That's what he thinks is going to happen. And I think it just really it's funny to me because we've been in this space so long and they still have all these same people on these networks like CNBC. Mike Novogratz is the same guy that back in 2021 had Terra Luna tattooed on his arm. I'm not sure if he still has that tattoo on his arm, but I think you kind of take what some people say with a grain of salt. If he's telling you about Terra Luna and then the company goes out of business, I don't know if you would take advice from him, but that's not financial advice. So it's just funny to me that they show people like that. And if they are selling 70,000 Bitcoin, I think they're going to regret that 5 to 10 years down the road, especially if they're going to be holding it in Ethereum versus Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin is going to outperform Ethereum over the long run. Over the next 3 months, who knows? Over the next 3 years, I think Bitcoin will. That's not financial advice, though. And the Bitcoin ETF flows this week. I want to talk a little bit about this. This was pretty interesting to see here. As you can see, the first 3 days of this week were red. After having a massive 2 weeks prior to this week, where billions of dollars are flowing into the ETFs, we had 3 days of sell-offs. And then we had a kind of a rebound yesterday. So we're probably still a little bit in the negative, probably 30, 40 million in the negative. We'll see what comes out today. If we end the week, at zero or just kind of neutral. But we're seeing a little bit of a slowdown in the ETF. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this. Not really sure why there was a slowdown. There wasn't really any traditional financial news. Nothing really happened in the economy too much. It's maybe something I missed, but not sure why there were outflows here. But I think we'll be paying attention to this and watching this more closely as the ETF flows start to progress over the next couple of weeks. And then this is really interesting. The Pi cycle top indicator. This indicator has been spot on for all the Bitcoin peaks, 2021, 2018, 2014, and also 2013. So this indicator, I remember people looking at it back in April of 2021 and saying, this indicator's dumb, it's not going to work. Like, yeah, it worked in the past, but it's not going to work again. And it happened. And people ignored it, and we went into a multi-year bear market. Right now, we're not even close to the pi cycle top indicator. Right now, it's predicting a cycle peak at January of 2027. And the price of Bitcoin, where it's currently projecting, would be around $400,000. Now, that is something to pay attention to there. The pi cycle top indicator is one of the best indicators for the top. It's been very accurate. And if we don't get a bear market in 2026, like everybody's calling for because of the 4-year cycles, I would not be surprised. We sit back and think about what's going to cause the next bear market. Interest rates are probably going to be going lower over the next year. Unless the economy goes into recession, what's really going to drive this market lower? We have all the regulation in the US and worldwide going towards Bitcoin. The president of the United States has a company that buys Bitcoin, and they're looking to buy more Bitcoin. So I just don't see any indicators of bear market where we're going to see a 60% downturn in the market. Inflation isn't going up to 10% like it did back in 2022, but I could be wrong, and I have been wrong in the past. But that's why you invest for the long term. But let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section below. And then I want to talk a little bit about Marathon. I think this company is super undervalued right now. Bitcoin miner, market cap at $6 billion. They have 50,000 Bitcoin. They're looking to buy, I think, another 800 million Bitcoin. So potential 57 to 58,000 Bitcoin. And the NAV multiple is at basically even. So the Bitcoin they have is the market cap of their company. And I just think they're super undervalued because Bitcoin is going higher than where it is right now. It's going to be going to $1 million, and they're going to have 58,000 BTC. And they bought this Bitcoin at cheaper prices. So they have a nice profit on the BTC that they have bought already. And they are a Bitcoin miner. So I think they are undervalued. But let me know what you guys think about Mara in the comment section below as well. My name is Aaron from Bitcoin Bros. I'm out. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day.